I made a previous video just 2 hours ago, and I wanted to come again and, to answer some people who made comment. I noticed that people who have, most of people who make comments, obviously they don't have ears. And if they hear from the wrong place. I will show you some of the comments. Didact, Mr. Didact, he said, sorry, CP, but I cannot agree with you here. The invasion of Ukraine is a terrible tragedy. No doubt, no question. But argue that Ukraine cannot fight back against Russia, or not, or that Ukraine poses no threat to Russia, its interest is nonsense. Ukraine has received billions of dollars in American and aid for a specific purpose. My friend, I will go with your logic. So you are saying now to me, if somebody is your neighbor and he is receiving support from a friend, or let us say an enemy of yours, we go and we invade him. Okay, let us do that then. Let us do that. How come Putin did not invade Turkey? When the Turkish and the Azerbaijani army, they were shooting and killing the Armenian, Putin was drinking tea with Erdogan. Turkey is not a threat now to Russia? Or we choose the weak one and we go after them? In the same time, if you are saying that if I take a friend and you don't like my friend, you can come and beat me in my home. And the funny is that if Ukraine if Ukraine got billions of dollars support from American, became a threat, when everybody is terrified because of Russia. I mean, who can make a threat even to Russia? Don't you see even the guy is laughing at them all? Who dare? Here we go. Nobody. So when you say to me that Ukraine is a threat to Russia, it's like saying to me, Putin is terrified because there's a bird next to him, and this bird have a beak. And actually, I can tell that Putin is being evil, and he said clearly, I'm going to disarm Ukraine. So not only he will change the government, he will disarm you. Why? Why you want to disarm Ukraine? What's the problem? So you can have arms and they cannot have arms. And then here he continues saying, its leader has since 2014 severely oppressed the Russian-speaking people eastern Ukraine. My friend, this is absolutely false. I went to churches and I met with Russian people in Ukraine, and I asked them, after all what happened, how you feel? Are you oppressed? Do you feel any discrimination? Do you feel any? They said no, absolutely not. And not only that, I saw Christian Russian, teaching Ukrainian in their churches. Additional to that, if I go with your logic, you try to separate yourself from a country, and now Putin, he says, I'm going to make you a republic. Where was Putin for the last 20 years? He did not see that you've been discriminated? You are discriminated now? You just said since 2014. Since 2014, so Ukrainian, they became racist in 2014, and they were nice people for the last 10 centuries? There's no country in the world will allow you to take a city and make it a state. No country. And now if you, those who Putin announced them to be a country, if they decide to join Ukraine again, Putin will shell them. He will wipe you out. He will say, no, you cannot. It's like joining Islam. You can come, but you cannot leave. Can you? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be two faces. when the Chechenian terrorist and the Chechenian in general, not the terrorist one, the normal citizen, they decide to have independent from Russia. What the Russian did? They demolished Grozny. They made it in the flat in the floor. So based on you, we can separate ourselves from them, but you cannot separate yourself from us. When I speak, I'm trying to speak to the Christian inside you. If you are a Christian, wrong is wrong, doesn't matter who do it. Ukraine is a country, have borders. Russia, long time ago, they gave a Crimea to Ukraine because at that time, border doesn't matter. Hold on, why border at that time doesn't matter? Oh, because we were controlling the whole country anyway. And as long you are a person who care for discrimination and giving the land back to those who own it, what about giving Crimea to the Tatar? The Tatar, which is the people of Erdogan. All of us, we knew that the Soviet Union took those people from their land and sent them everywhere. So the second you decide to be a hypocrite, then you have no standard to go with. If you look at my title, you know, people, when I spoke previously, I spoke against Trump, I spoke against Biden, I spoke against the Western, and then they say, oh, so it's okay for the NATO to be this. So who is defending the NATO anyway? The NATO for me is a gang. They are not really an organization. You see, when those Americans, they speak, and I'm talking about American, not American like me and you, I'm talking those who they are in the White House. Or in Fox News, when they speak about democracy, democracy is good for them as long you are a friend for them. And if you are not a friend, you are a dictator. What does that mean? The Prince of Emirat, for them is okay. He's a good guy. Okay, but he is not a person who practices democracy. The Prince of Qatar is a wonderful person. But this guy is a criminal. He put even his father in jail, his grandfather in jail. The King of Saudi Arabia, we shake hands with them as long as they are giving us check. Do you see? Do you see that? Do you see this? The hypocrisy? So now the American, they are asking Putin, why you are invading Ukraine? But how many countries you invade a year? Which country in the world we don't have a base? I mean, you are the worst example to talk about democracy. And actually, the word democracy is very, you know, subjective. As an example, here in USA, here we go, I am in YouTube. If I say something YouTube doesn't agree, they will take my channel down in 2 seconds. Democracy. Do you see the democracy? Even if you disagree with them about a disease or illness, just say something they don't agree with, they say, oh, we will ban you. Democracy. Democracy does not exist in any country. But there are some countries that give you, let us say, a window of freedom, and there are some countries there is zero freedom. And this is the case in USA. It's no different from other countries. We have some freedom. We don't have all the freedom. The Prime Minister of England, he is schooling the Russian about invasion. So why you don't give the Falkland Islands back to Argentina? I mean, how in the world UK have an island in the border of Argentina? You tell me. I mean, what Argentina have to do with UK? So when the people of Argentina decide to take their land back, the UK, they made an invasion. When the Panama, they have a general control the country, and he is not a friend of USA. The USA send Marines and they invade the country. They did exactly what they are doing now, what Putin is doing, exactly the same. They want to change the president. So, my friend, we are not. We are not taking a side. We are saying wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. If you want a Ukrainian not to be a friend to USA, be friendly to them, let them love you. You need to ask yourself first, why Ukrainians are desperate to stay away from Russia. I spoke to many Ukrainians, you see, because for me, I have a background of always favoring the Russian. For many reasons, I told you. I spoke to them and they said, always they oppress us. Always they treat us as second citizen. Always they steal our food. Always they take our goods. Always they take everything we have. During the World War II, they told me that the Soviet Union took even chickens from the houses of Ukrainian. Everything is sent to the center. So they treat Ukrainian as a bunch of farmers who they are slaves, who their duty is to make bread for them. What the Bible teaches us is to wish to yourself what to wish to others. A person in the comment too, he said to me, what about USA was bombing Serbia? You know, sometimes I find it, how people think it's weird. Because in Serbia, you were attacking those who tried to separate from you. I mean, do you see that? Do you see the madness? He is upset for the American they were sharing or they attacked the Serbian. But why the Serbian war started anyway? Oh, because the Croatian, they want to have their own country. The Muslims, they want to have their own country. The Albanian, whatever, they want to have their own country. And you don't want them to let go. You want Yugoslavia to stay Yugoslavia. But Yugoslavia is not a country, really. It is a united or unification of countries. Even it was unification, still you don't want to let them go. And then you go to war. And then the American, because we have a whore in the White House sleeping with Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton, he said to himself, oh, I got a chance now to cover my scandal. Let me go for war. We are not saying the Americans are doing good. The French army is fighting in the heart of Africa. What the French have to do with Africa? Oh, they are fighting terrorists. Okay, why you are there anyway? Why you are in Africa? The filthy Erdogan, who is giving people speeches now, and he is complaining about an ethical Putin. This guy, as we speak, occupying half of Cyprus, 80% of Greece, more than 80% of Syria, not to mention, to forget Armenia, and they killed more than 1.5 million Armenian, and yet they speak about ethic. So the NATO is not better than, you know, actually the NATO contain more filthy. This is the rat organization. It's a gang. It's not really a peaceful, democratic as they claim. How many people in Turkey right now, they are in jail just for speaking against Erdogan? How come European member of NATO don't see that? How come they don't say to Erdogan, you know what, you cannot be part of us. You're not a democratic person. Journalists, judges, teachers. Actually, they have a law now in Turkey. It's called insulting Erdogan. Which means if I am now in Turkey, I will be shish kebab in 2 minutes. He's God. So why the European Union and why the NATO did not say to him, do the same you did now to with Putin? He, this guy, he took half of Cyprus. He took the half, literally. If we look now at the map in Syria, all the terrorists, they are under the protection of Erdogan. Syria now, right now, is divided between the Turkish occupation, the Russian, which is supposedly invited by the government, so they will make themselves look different, and the American occupation. Because neither the Turkish, neither the American are invited by the government. So look what happened here. I can be a member of the NATO and I can occupy a country even if the people there, or the government or the president did not invite me. I can go and take half of their land. Well, I'm from the NATO, it's okay. But if you are not from the NATO, we will scream at you and we will give you an ethical lecturer. But in reality, NATO is way disgusting than Putin, and Putin is disgusting for me. What we have to do in Iraq, why we went to Somalia, why we bomb people in Bosnia, why we have a base in every piece of land in the world. We have, why we are everywhere. So we can be everywhere, but they cannot be everywhere. In 2006, according to Putin, he asked Bill Clinton, what do you think of Russia join the NATO? Clinton, he gave him a yellow smile and he never answered. And here Putin, since then, he understood that this NATO will never be a friend for us. So you don't want us to be a friend. What do you want us to be then? An enemy? That's what he said. And Bill Clinton is alive. He did not say he's a liar. Bill Clinton is still alive. He did not go say, hey, he did not say that. Why you did not accept him to join the NATO? All this problem is solved. Why you want to keep the Russian as a, because they need an enemy, my friend. They have to find an enemy. The gang have no purpose if there's no enemy. This is the same as Muhammad. Muhammad, in order to make himself a leader, he have to make an enemy. If there's no enemy, if people love each other, if people give hug to each other, then how he can be a leader? Fear, war, Dracula is their planning. Somebody's saying, why everybody says shalom? So what do you want us to say, salam? Well, salam is the same as shalom. You are an idiot. Shalom is a word meaning peace. And because we are a Christian, Jesus, he said, so we say it. What's wrong with you? Why you brother saying shalom? I thought this is a Jewish thing. When you pray, you say Ameen, even if you are a Muslim, but this is a Jewish thing. And before the Jewish, this is an Aramaic thing. So all of them, they are a bunch of liars, and we are not taking side of anyone. But that is not an excuse for the idiot Putin to go to Ukraine. And you know, if the excuse is that you are a Russian who is in Ukraine in those two cities and they are discriminating you, okay, now Putin, he gave you, he signed, that's it, I'll protect you. Why you want to go all the way to Kiev? Who in the world can believe that even USA can threat Russia? Nobody can threat Russia. And the proof what's happening. Look, they are watching, they don't dare. Because all of us, we knew that if they dare to do something, that will be the end of this earth. So when you say to me that Putin is afraid, that is a joke. The Russian, they have ability to burn the earth, if not 10, 20 times, maybe 100 times. How come we don't see our ugly friends, but we see only our ugly enemies? All the friends of USA are disgusting dictators, criminals. The Prince of Saudi Arabia, he cut a guy pieces, literally, shish kebab in Turkey. Trump, he shake hands with him. He give us a check. And he go on TV holding the check as if he like a guy who won the lotto. I mean, did you see how big the check with the Trump hand? You know, when you see this, don't you feel disgusted? I mean, this is a country which is the most rich country. It's called USA. And now they are excited because they gave you a check. You know, if this is a president from Somalia, I would say, okay, well, they are poor. If this is a president from Indonesia, I would say they are poor. This is a Trump, and he himself is a billionaire. Just because they pay us, you're good. This is the truth. It's a gang. You know, when you hire a hitman, this is what hitman is. It's somebody, he is professional in fighting, in killing. You pay him. Look how excited he is. As we speak now, Saudi Arabia is invading Yemen. How come USA is not so upset? And the NATO is not so upset, and no sanctions. Not only that, they invite them to be part of the G7. I have a question to the G7. What make you G and what make you 7? And why this guy is between you? More than 80% of his population do not even know how to read, how to write, just because he have oil. So this guy in the G7, and a country of like Ukraine, full of educated people, is not in the G7, is not even in the G2. You know, we can make from garbage something useful. But we cannot make from something not useful anything useful. So when I made my previous video, I'm speaking to you as a Christian. Think as a Christian. Are you excited that Putin is bringing those filthy terrorists from Chechnya to kill the Christians in Ukraine? Are you excited? The person who is from Serbia, what do you think of Putin if he brought Chechenian to control you one day? I mean, you people have no shame. Not only he is invading the country, he is bringing terrorists who they are very well known to be a bunch of thieves and drug dealers. Kadyrov is a drug dealer. He's a war criminal. It is true. This is reality. Why someone like Putin, he will bring those terrorists? Do he even need them? He is just adding more humiliation for the Ukrainian. Not only I'm going to occupy you, I'm going to bring gangs to rule you. How many women they will rape? Look how many thousand Chechenian. Who of you is an Orthodox? He is proud of the Putin bringing the Chechenian to an Orthodox country. Where is the patriarch of Moscow? Or he is so good in eating his nice meal and getting his nice kiss in his hand and call him your majesty, your honorable patriarch. Where is their voices? Where is the Christian Orthodox? Bringing terrorists from Chechnya to Ukraine. Who can support that? This Putin is the piece of a trash. He have no ethic. He have no dignity. He have no value. And he will be thrown in hell for every single Christian code he said, he killed today. And bringing those terrorists from Chechnya will never be forgiven by anyone. I saw myself videos in YouTube from Russia, and they are crying, asking Putin, stop. Russian inside Moscow, and he's arresting them. He arrested more than 1,000 already just because they said to him, stop. Somebody says Kiev is the gay capital of East of Europe. And my friend, I've been in Kiev, I did not see any of them. But maybe because you are a gay, so you notice them. I did not meet one gay in Ukraine. And as long you are talking about the gay, so does that mean like, we should destroy Ukraine now because they have some gays now? Should I show you Putin and Kadyrov hugging each other? I mean, look at how low some people are. Kiev is the capital of Eastern Europe. Gays. Really? Since when? And now they became religious. Somebody saying, CP, Ukraine is demonic, Bazi, Muslim loving. Okay, a question then. How they are Muslim loving, but you are not loving like them to Christians? I don't mind if they love Muslims. What's wrong with that? I love Muslims too. Do you hate them? So like just because somebody is a Muslim, we hate him now? And all the lies you hear, it can be accepted if I was never been there. I was in Ukraine just a few months ago. And I did not see what you are saying. I saw that there is a very friendly people who they discriminate nobody. What people do, evil ones, they demonize you to justify their crime against you. Putin and Kadyrov is not gays. Who cares? This is not the topic, my friend. You people are very silly. That's why I disabled the chat before, because people are really silly. Do you think really I meant that he is a gay? Who cares if he's a gay or not? What you do in your bedroom, this is your business. What come out from your anus or what go inside your anus is your business. But you don't go and play with somebody else's anus and you claim to be the holy man. Mind your business. Ukraine is a country, and Ukrainian are people, and they elect a president, and obviously they don't want you there. And if you want to come back, if they welcome you, you are more than welcome. But they have to welcome you. You don't go and force them. Putin today, he lost the war. He did not win it, even if you control the country. Because now people, they will hate you more and more. Every child who saw the bombs, everyone who will see a dead person in front of him, kids, they will grow hating the Russian. Now you are building hate. You did not fix it. Somebody calling himself a crusader for Christ saying, why do you ask if you know everything? My friend, why you are here if I do not know what you claim I don't? Isn't it stupid of you to be here if I do not know? Isn't it stupid of you to listen to someone who claimed that he know, but obviously he don't? And yet you are here. When you come to somebody to listen what he want to say, that's mean you agree that he know what he is saying. Otherwise, you will not come back here. In his people in Odessa, what do you have to do with Odessa now? Odessa is your land too? So here we go. You want to take Odessa, Kiev is their land. That's it. My friend, if Putin is a hero, let him come and take Alaska. If he is a hero, which one is your land? Alaska or Odessa? How come Putin now he is not remembering Alaska? That's it, we forgot about Alaska now? How big Alaska is? How rich Alaska is? Putin don't even open his mouth. The answer is because America is strong. And when you are strong, everybody go blind. If America one day go weak, oh, Putin will be here in 2 minutes. This is the truth. Well, the one who is coming here to tell me about Yugoslavia, we talk about already. Don't take me back. Go rewind the tape. I think people, they were, I don't know, people, they come later or they do not hear or they are deaf. We mentioned that USA attacked Yugoslavia. But the same reason you are complaining about Yugoslavia is the same reason Ukraine was fighting you in the border. Do you see the hypocrisy? So why you are as a Serbian, you launch a war against Kosovo, people of Kosovo, and people of Croatia, and etc. Why? Because they want to separate from the country. Okay, so now you have the right to attack them, but now you are doing the same. Do you see the stupidity? So you complain, why the American, they attack us, you know, in Serbia? I'm against that. But why the war is there anyway? Oh, because the Croatian, they want to have a country their own. And the Muslims, they want to have a country of their own. And people of Kosovo, they want to have a country of their own. And we don't accept that. So when somebody tries to separate from you, you go after them and you want to kill them. But you separate from Ukraine, oh, they have no right to go after us. Do you see the hypocrisy? Those who have double standard, they have no standard. Do you understand me, people? Those who have double standard, they have no standard. If you refuse America to invade in Yugoslavia, then you should refuse Putin invading Ukraine. And if you are a Christian in any way, you should not accept in any way that someone who claimed to be a Christian president who go to church, his name is Putin, asking terrorists from Chechnya to come and kill the Christians in Ukraine. Who cares if you are from Serbia or not? I mean, you are forcing me to block you, really. If any state right now in USA decide to separate themselves, what do you think the USA would do? Okay, you know what? I'm going to put a flag in the top of my house, and I don't want to be under the command of Joe Biden. I'm going to announce my house as a state independent. I will not pay tax. I will not obey the police. I have guns in my home. They will kill me. Literally. In America. So we have to see all the sides of the story. Nobody can justify killing, attacking country. What is the victory now? Putin will accomplish nothing. You lost. You lost big time. Because people in the ground, they hate you. You could not win the love of people. And that is the biggest loss. You killed their own young men. And now you are even sharing houses. How that can be a victory to anyone? And you know, when I saw this guy, he want to debate, you idiot. When we say want to debate me, you don't come. Just come tomorrow. Let your dad come. Christian Prince, you want to debate? Christian Prince. Christian Prince, you want to debate? Christian Prince, Christian Prince, Christian, you know, it's like a puppy holding you with his teeth from your pant. And you tell the Chihuahua, let go, and the Chihuahua will not let go. And he is a Chihuahua. But now because the Chihuahua, he knew that I'm busy with something else, so the Chihuahua became aggressive. When we open our Skype for 10 hours saying, who is a Muslim, want to call us, the Chihuahua never show up. And now he is holding me from my pant. Christian Prince, you want to debate Christian Prince? Christian Prince? Christian Prince, how you doing? I trained you, Christian Prince. I say, Chihuahua, it's not time, you know, just go. You know, one of the funny things too, that you will see someone in the size of a Chihuahua, they want to fight the Doberman. And this is the problem with many countries in this world. When you have a stupid leader, you don't understand how much weak he is. He ends in a very horrible way. Putin, he understands that he is very powerful. He has the most powerful army in the world. Actually, I believe it's not USA the most powerful army. I believe that Russia is the most powerful army. In America, you know, this country is divided. They are confused about their gender now. You know, the world is in chaos, price of oil going crazy, inflation, you know, and they are busy. Which bathroom girls and boys should use, you know, like, should girls go to bathroom of the boys and boys go to... This is how, you know, so the guy who says to me about Ukraine, I mean, come to USA and tell me. Unbelievable. We will not take a side of any except the victim. And the victim here in this case is the Ukrainian people. It's not Ukrainian who is going to Moscow and say to them, hey, you can't be a friend to China. You can't be a friend to Azerbaijan. You can't be a friend to this and that. It's the opposite. How come Putin is a friend to Erdogan? I mean, what is good about Erdogan? How come Putin is so friendly with Kadyrov, the most filthy criminal ever you can imagine in history? How come you can have friends like those and they can't have any friends? And now the filthy Putin is bringing those terrorists. Look, they are making the prayer. This is an old one. Let us show you the new one. 5 hours ago. 5 hours ago. More than 10,000 terrorists from Chechnya go into Ukraine. And not the Russian people in Ukraine. My friend, this is a false excuse. I was there, everybody is fine. And secondly, if you think you are a Russian and you want to be in Russia, go to Russia. Go. Russia is the biggest country in the world. See, I am a Middle Eastern. If I feel that I am not really respected here, I go. Stop complaining. You have the biggest country in the world. It's empty. Russia is totally empty. If you feel you are not having a good life in Ukraine, fly, go. Putin is giving citizenship even to Turkish. Don't complain. So when this coward Putin, he bring those Chechenian, he deserve my spit. But my spit is going to be dirty if I spit at a person like this. Wasn't you saying that Putin is being a friend with Erdogan for business? But how you can be a friend with someone for business unless you have no honor, especially if this person, he killed a lot of Russian before? What is the history of Turkey with Russia? What is the history of the word Slavic? Where the word Slavic coming from? How you can be friend to those people? And why? Those people in Turkey, they take advantage of the Ukrainian and the Russian. Erdogan is like a snake. He's soft when you touch him. He bites you when he gets a chance. He cannot fight Russia. He noticed that Ukraine is weak. So right away he started extending his fingers and arms inside Ukraine, hoping he can control it one day. Do you think he will stop at Ukraine? I live. You know, I believe that if Putin, he invade the rest of Europe, that will not be the, I mean, it's not going to be just an invasion. It's going to be just the end of this earth. That's it. Because then nuke is going to be used. And then all countries will be demolished, even those who they are not in Europe. The whole world will collapse. And the irony is that the stupid American is the one who forced Ukrainian to give up their weapon, even they give them money. and they gave their weapon to Russia. And this is why I say a stupid leader can destroy and he can make and build a country. Depend how if he is smart or stupid. So this country used to have a lot of nukes. If they still have their nukes, nobody would dare to get close to them. Not they will not need America, they will not need Russia, they will not need anyone. This is what happened, my friend, when you have a stupid leader. And when you are weak, everybody want to practice target on you. That is the truth. For me, all of them, they are a bunch of shameful people. NATO, like this guy, what his name, the guy who is here with like a broom. Johnson and Johnson, the diaper powder. We will kick the Russian. The Russian 2 days after they are in Ukraine. We will kick the Russian on TV. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, I wanted to make this video to be sure that we as a Christian, we should not take a side with anyone. The NATO is not a Christian organization. The NATO is a gang. But Putin is not even being Christian too. He's being evil. As you see, he's hiring terrorists to kill Ukrainian. Those are the same terrorists he sent them to Syria and they killed tens of thousands of Muslims there. And those terrorists, by the way, they go to Syria, not because they want to fight and do jihad, even they say Allahu Akbar, etc., and they claim to be religious, and they have a beard, but they go there for robbery. They come back with a lot of gourds. They go inside the town, like now, war. People, they left their houses. They clean everything in their way. Anything is expensive, it will go. Each one of them went back to Chechnya is, they have containers. The same as Erdogan army when he went inside Kurdish territory. They took the cars. They took even they took the museum for sale. Museum, imagine. All is sold by the son-in-law of Erdogan. They stole the oil. All of them, they are guilty. All of them, they are garbage. But I say to you, if you are a Christian, you shall not support a war against Christian, no matter what. Somebody make a comment saying, today leaders, they are fighting, people dying, right, in the street. Tomorrow leaders are shaking hands. This is true. Those people in TV, they don't die. None of them will die. Tomorrow they will shake hands. Poor people in the street, they die from both sides. The Russian soldier is not going to make any victory to be proud about. What he will tell his kids, I went to Ukraine and I killed many Ukrainian. Like this guy who was driving his tank, he went over a car, Ukrainian car. What kind of filthy soldier you are? In the last moment, this guy, he opened the door. We do not know if he had more people inside the car. He smashed the car in a second. Why you do that? Don't support anyone do aggression. It doesn't matter if it's USA, if it's Russia, if it's Germany. None of them. All of them, they are guilty of crimes. USA government is the last one who can teach about ethical war. They go to countries, they have nothing to do with them. Who gave them the right, the NATO, to strike Al-Qaddafi? Under what logic exactly? People going against their president. Why you are going and kill the president? gave them the right to invade Iraq? Who gave the right to Obama to give $650 million to the terrorists in Syria? Who gave the right to Erdogan to support the terrorists in Syria? Who gave them the right? Those people, they have no ethic. But they love to school you about ethic. If Putin is their friend and he swallow Ukraine, they will not even mention it. The Saudi and the Emirati are launching a war for now almost 5 years in Yemen. And NATO is blind. He seen nothing. He heard nothing. No sanctions. Not even one. And not only that, we sell them the most advanced weapons so they can kill people of Yemen with it. They have ethic when they want. They have zero ethic when they want. Their ethic only work depend in how high they are. But I will tell you, if I am a Ukrainian, live in Ukraine, I will never allow any soldier from any country to enter my land over my dead body. This is my right. Somebody saying to me, you are all knowledge with no spirit. So if I say that as Ukrainian, I would have a spirit for you now? Obviously, you are the one who is full of a spirit. First of all, when you say you are all knowledge but no spirit, there is no person can have knowledge without a spirit. And I will explain to you, to your ignorance. Because any knowledge is not sponsored by the Spirit of God. Is going to be translated as an evil knowledge. Do you see me teaching people to kill each other? I don't. And I will never do that. Actually, even when we speak about Islam and Muslim, we say we love Muslims. Right? We say we love Muslims. Even those who occupy our land, and you know, we suffer a lot, and I'm talking about my land, maybe not yours. I don't say you should hate them. So if we love the Muslims, how in the world we can love to kill Christians? Which one of you would support that? Ido was saying, why are you Christian prince? Why you like to insult people very much? Ido, I will explain to you. That's a good question you just mentioned now. Why you like to insult so much? I like to insult people so much. Okay. I will put your comment in the screen. If I say to you 2 plus 2, and you say to me it is 5, and then I repeat the question again and I say 2 plus 2, you say to me it's 5. Okay, 1, let us use your fingers. 1 finger, 2 fingers. Okay, plus 1 finger, 2 finger. How many fingers we have? You say 5. And then I say to you, you are stupid. I did not insult you. I just described your problem. Your problem is you are stupid. If I say to you, you left as a donkey and you never came back as a horse, I'm not insulting you. I gave you a grade. You are a donkey. You should be happy. At least you got a rank. People get offended because they have a needle in their ass. When you say, what make me upset is the stupid one, right away, the stupid one in the chat, you will say to me, well, you're insulting me. I did not talk to you about you. Did I talk about you? Oh, you mentioned the stupid. Oh, thank you. This guy remind me, if when they were saying, please, if you agree with this to vote, put your hand up. Well, one, two people, you know, please, smart people, please put your hand up if you agree with this. Or if you don't agree, say no. Oh, 2, 3 people put their hands up. There's like 100 people left. So what's wrong with you? Why you are not voting? Why you are not putting your hand up? Then they said, you said the smart people. So some people, they get offended because inside them, they knew that they are the one who is targeted, even though we are not mentioning their names. Are you saying to me that even stupid people can vote? Yes, my friend, even stupid people can vote. When I talk about Putin and Karadov, I wanted to say, don't that you should not mock them only? I'm not sure what does that mean. You need a translator. Why anyone disagree with me, you call me ignorant? Those who disagree with me, they call me ignorant. I mean, it's stupid, it's amazing. So go and read the comment. You will see the person says to me, Christian Prince, you're ignorant. So when I say to you ignorant back, you get upset. Oh boy. Intelligence is a gift, but it cannot be given. But I can say, I cannot give it to you. Go read the comments. Ignorant Christian Prince. You do not know what's happening there. Then the second we answer them, they get upset. Why you call me ignorant? Abdul, you are the one who called me ignorant. What's the problem? And now we have people are dying and you are worried about the word ignorant? We have people as we speak, they are being slaughtered and you are worried about the word ignorant. This is what hurt your feeling. Why you come here to hear it? It's YouTube, just close, you know, I'm not making you leave your country. Close the page in YouTube, it's just done. Why you come here to listen to someone, he called you ignorant? Maybe you like it? Don't come to a place you don't feel comfortable in it. All right? Here, I open here. For me, I'm talking. If you don't like to hear me, please don't come. This guy, he called you ignorant. You know what made me upset really? That now we are in the day 2 in this attack, and not a single Orthodox bishop or patriarch, he opened his mouth, as those people are dead. Like, what happened to those people in those churches? Are the patriarch of Moscow in vacation? Shouldn't he call Putin? He say, hey, listen, this is not a Christian behavior. What about he say, okay, hold on, I'm going to go to fly to Ukraine and I will discuss with them how we can solve this problem. Where are those long beard people? What happened to them? Those who have a drivers and people, they kiss their hands. What happened to them? How come if somebody spoke against Islam, all of them, they will say, no, you should not talk like that. I have no respect for those people. They are just there to praise. Every one of them have nice car, a driver. They don't even open the car door. You will not open the car door? No way. They did? Where? Where they condemn? Can you give me the video? I want to play it. Yeah, this is not a talk. This is a garbage talk, my friend. If he is serious, he should stand and say, hey, listen, I am not giving you blessing for this. I want to fly right away to Ukraine to solve the problem. Trust me, everybody will listen. Don't you think really, if the Patriarch of Moscow, he decide to fly to Ukraine, everybody will welcome him? They divide even the church. This is how evil they are. The Church of Ukraine and the Church of Russia used to be one. They divided you. And now you are killing each other. Are you happy? Oh, the Pope is busy saying Islam is peace. You know? Yeah. The Pope now is busy, you know, like he is very busy. You know, for some reason, I don't have any, like, I have a respect for monks, you know, monks who live in the mountains, you know, or they serve the community. But those people who call themselves patriarch, etc., I lost my respect for them. They are just doing business. Business and politics. And the funny, when you need them, they are not there. For me, I was speaking to Ukrainian for a while. And I said to them, you do not need to be part of the NATO. The NATO is a piece of garbage. It's not going to help you. And they will not support you. And they will not accept you. And even if they accept you, they will take advantage of you. But you know, people who they were under oppression and poor and hunger for tens of years. They are desperate to come out. It's hard to talk to people to tell them that the West is not that good as you think. They're poor. No jobs, no money, nothing. And the West become the only hope for them. So when somebody complains and says, Ukrainian, they got billions of dollars, well, they need help. Who is stopping you as a Russian to send them billions of dollars? Go ahead. If the West, they were able to get their, or get them to be closer to them by billions of dollars, well, why not? I mean, they are poor. They need help. They were under the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union sucked their blood for 100 years. For me, I believe that NATO is not a good organization, and it's a shameful thing that all those Orthodox countries they became enemy to each other. And I believe strongly that the CIA was very successful to divide you. I'm not going to blame the Jews, but I say clearly that the CIA is playing a big role to divide the Orthodox countries. Look at you now. When Erdogan decided to invade Greece, which country of the NATO stand up with Greece? There's only one president. He tried something like he was a little bit aggressive. It was the president of France. Germany, they sold submarines to Turkey. They sold them the most expensive boats. They introduced them into technology. Spain, they signed an agreement with Erdogan to teach them how to build ships, warship. All of the NATO is arming Erdogan, including USA. So why Greece is part of the NATO? What is exactly the NATO does? Is Greece protected now? They are not. So shouldn't Ukraine learn that this NATO is a piece of garbage? The NATO exists only to protect the rich countries. If you are rich, we will protect you. The rest is not in their consideration. When Saddam Hussein he attacked Kuwait, suddenly every army in the West want to go and free Kuwait. 250,000 soldiers from USA alone. 250,000 to fight the army of Saddam Hussein, which he can destroy by even maybe 200 airplanes. From USA alone, 250,000 alone. What happened? Why everybody want to free the country? Oh, first, Saddam Hussein is a weak, stupid idiot. You have just traditional army, we can destroy it easy. Kuwait have a lot of money, you know, they will pay us. And Iraq have money too. They have a lot of oil. When China they took over the Tibet, China, they took the whole country of the Tibet. Why the USA don't send the Marines to free Tibet? They will not. Why the Marines are not sent to free Cyprus? They will not. They will not. So I say, for me, if you ask me, if you want to make, and I'm talking to Orthodox countries, if you want to make a group to protect yourself, you should make a group of Orthodox countries. You have one church, you have one books, you have even the song you sing in the church is the same. You should have your own. As you see, the West, they don't even count you. They use you. And then there's a question we need to ask ourselves. Why this NATO is going to go bigger and bigger and bigger? What is the target exactly? How big you want to go? Isn't it enough all the nukes you have? Isn't it enough how big you are? Why you need more and more? And why you are getting so close to Russia? Here you understand that the Russians, they have the reason to worry. And not justifying, by the way, their stupid invasion now to Ukraine. But if I'm a Russian, why those people are getting close to my borders? What if the Russian, they meet no in NATO, they're in NATO, and they, decide to join Mexico next to them. Mexico, it's in the border of us. Canada, USA will invade them. They will go crazy if Canada want to join Russia to be a part of their own NATO. So for me, I believe this NATO is a piece of garbage and is going to destroy this earth if they continue the way they are doing. And Putin, because he understands the nature of this garbage NATO, and because he is a criminal himself, he might, both of them, they might take us to a war which destroy the whole earth. You see, maybe some Muslims, they might be happy, says, oh, Christians are fighting each other. If this war happen, all of you will die. All this earth. When, if you remember, when one nuclear facility in Japan was hit by tsunami, the radiation arrived all the way to Texas in USA. Do you know how far Japan from USA? So imagine if hundreds of nukes explode in one day. The whole world is over. All of you are dead. The one who joined the war and the one who is watching the war. So if you think this war will end between two countries as before, or 20 countries, all days is over. Well, my friend, always cult leaders and always a gang, they have the same mentality. So the NATO, they do the same. And the NATO, they have their own ethic. They speak too much about democracy. But the second you say something they don't agree with, they arrest you. When I was in France, I was in a church, and then an employee from a government, he come to the church. And they told me he come, I think, every few weeks to listen to what they say. I said, what? Why the government, they send somebody to listen? What does that mean? In France, you cannot teach in the church anything the government does not agree with. In France, this is not Soviet Union. And if you teach anything in disagreement with the value of the republic, they will shut the church in a second. This is France. So when we talk, we don't take a side, we take only one side, the truth. I feel for the Ukrainian, very nice people. And I did not see, I'm an Arab, I was there, and did not see any racism from anyone. They treat everybody nice, they are friendly to everybody. I did not see anything, really. I mean, obviously they are very tolerant people. And even if there is a problem, you don't solve it by such a war. This war made Russia a loser, not a winner. And now, if a civil war is started in Ukraine, and Putin, he will be stuck there for many years to come. And every day, a couple of soldiers will come to Russia dead. And NATO, now they have a good excuse to put sanctions in Russia. And I believe, actually, the NATO is so happy now. Maybe some of you don't agree with me, but I believe that the NATO, they found now that they were able to trap Putin. I believe it was a trap. You see, I told you in the beginning, a few weeks ago, I don't think Putin will invade because he's not stupid. So what happened now? If you listen to what happened in the last few weeks, you will see that the Western countries, they are inviting Putin to invade. They started cleaning Kyiv from every single diplomatic, and they announce it. Denmark, USA, the French, the British, everybody is out. So the guy, he said to himself, oh, look, they are running away. Nobody will stop me. They took even their citizen. USA announced that every American citizen should leave now. Have you ever heard of a friend he leave you when the fire in your house or coming? So Ukrainians should notice that the Western, they were inviting Putin to come. They gave him the good message that we will not involve. And actually, the stupid Biden, he keeps saying that for the last few weeks. We will never involve in Ukraine. We will never send the troops. And even he ordered to take all the troops out. They have like 200. So Putin, he said to himself, that will be easy. And actually, I believe he was expecting different reaction from the Ukrainian. I think he got wrong intelligence. Because I know that there's some people in Ukraine, they like Russia. They are not Russian, they are Ukrainian. They prefer Russia over the NATO. So Putin, I think he thought